Hello. I'm going to put this on. Should have done this before, really, shouldn't I? There you go. Play this. Oh.
Harpy, who wants it, yo? Do you know what I am? I am shit. Harpy,
no one cares about me, I'm irrelevant, that's true, but even less online. Consider you to be cool, spending your life talking shit in disco back rooms. You actually believe that was bragging about my dog. I was just clowning how fucked up is you.
I say that shit is clowning, so come on, how fucking bitch you got me misunderstand. I think this account, yo.
You was a try-hard dressed in the straws, thinking you found on my misdirected fake flaws. Hundreds of all angry women never tasted you to success. Dogging my real life, what matters is that I'm black.
I say that shit is clowning, so come on, how fucking bitch you got me misunderstand. I think this account, yo.
But is it really game over? What? Or is it game on? So, greetings. I imagine no one's around at this time. This is my time. I've been gardening this morning, so I kept putting it off. And then, there we go. Here she is in all her glory. Can you see her? Can you see her? I hope so. Here she is, LEMUR. And I was in the garden. Every time I went out for a smoke, did I get stuck out there for another 20 minutes. And I was doing lots of twigging. And then I was like, well, it got to like midday, and I thought I'll come in for an hour and do some fibre twigging. So I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to put my dwarf on. Even though the dwarf is long gone, we've still another hour left on this before it's the end of this. I don't know if it's chapter or what part or how they've done this. So we'll have this on. I hope the volume is at 20%. Yeah, it should be alright.
Time to put Lister in the picture. Technician, said Lister, putting on a pseudo-swanky voice.
Beautiful.
And glancing up at the
Look
white
at her.
uniformed officer with a Burt Lancaster smile at the
Gorgeous.
poster. I'm a bleeding technician, don't you know? As soon as something crops up, we'll let you know. Leave your address. Address? Lister wondered what to put. He settled on luggage locker 4179, Mimas Central Shuttle Station. Shuttle flight JMC 159 for White Giant now boarding at gate number 5.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she?
To
Beautiful.
make the same announcement in Esperanto, German, and 3 different dialects of Chinese. A group of miners stubbed out their cigarettes and finished their beers, then reluctantly swung their kit bags over their shoulders before joining a group of white-suited officers.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. Bloody hell. What the hell's going on here, LEMUR? She's just looking coyly.
Casually swinging their argument settlers. People pretended not to look at them.
They shouldn't have done
You
that.
didn't mess with the Shore Patrol.
That's
Not
better.
unless you wanted your skull rearranged to resemble a relief map of Mars, canals and all.
Alright, so we're getting there.
This has got to be a joke. This is the address we were given, said the blonde. They stopped at the huge bank of luggage lockers and looked
Oh.
around, searching for number 4179. The dark-haired one banged on the door. "This has got to be a joke," she repeated.
Oh dear.
Lister was awakened from a dream about a pickle sandwich that spoke fluent Italian by the deafening metallic clanging as shore patrol woman Henderson
Oh, I'm
beat the
glad
luggage locker door.
there's some
with a
love in the
single
air.
It's a joke, I'm telling you. Hang
Love, love.
on, called Lister.
Yeah.
Let me get dressed. In the confined space of the locker, which was designed to
Love is
accommodate
all
two
you
fairly
need.
decent-sized suitcases, he groped around
Destroy
in the darkness, located his
the
clothes,
hatred
and pulled on his coffee and upholstery
of the dark.
polish-stained trousers. "Who is it?" "Shore Patrol. We're looking for a guy called Lister." "I'll see if he's in," called out Lister, stalling for time. Why'd you want him?" "He's been assigned. They found him a ship." The door opened, and Lister jumped the 6 feet down to the ground. He cupped his chin in one hand, placed the other on the back of his head, and snapped his head to one side to the
Aww.
accompaniment of a series of stomach-churning
I'm glad
grunts.
someone's loving
"Your
the
papers have come
beautiful,
through,"
gorgeous
said Henderson.
Harpy.
"And wait
She is
a minute,"
beautiful.
said Lister.
She's probably the most beautiful of the
"Give me a minute."
adversaries I've had, I'd say. I quite liked the
He blinked a few
mushrooms, I
times
have to
and
say.
rubbed his
They were
eyes.
quite nice.
Slowly, the
They were
two
not- they weren't
Shore Patrol
beautiful.
women came into focus.
They were just nice.
"Hey," said Lister. "I'd invite you in
And
for a tea,
the
Ness.
beautiful
It's one of the
princess
bachelor-looking
she
How long have you been
was
sailing with
alright, but she wasn't as good
Henderson
as the
interrupted.
Harpy. I'll say
Since
that.
my second night on
That's
Limus,
being nice,
I
isn't
tried
it?
sleeping on a park
Oh,
bench.
hey, upheaval!
The night completely
Hang on a
naked,
minute.
and this old Chinese guy was licking my
It's
foot.
really hungry. Oh, thank you. Cheers, mate. Well, I hope you feel a bit better. I've just cracked a beer open, actually. It's a stubby Saint Bertine imported premium lager. It's the one that you get for you get 12 of them for like £4. But they're alright, little stubbies that you have a barbecue. So, stopped my twigging for some fake twigging and some beer. So thank you for popping in. And I hope the beautiful story lulls you back to sleep.
Quick food bar, picking up a half-eaten soya sandwich and a three-quarter finished noodle burger people with weaker constitutions had left behind. "You're probably thinking I'm a slob," said Lister, finishing off a quintuple thick milkshake and hoovering around the base with a straw. "But I'm not. I'm just hungry, okay?" "Hey, it's a real pity you've got to go on this ship and everything," said Henderson. "Because otherwise you could maybe have taken me out for dinner. You know, a couple of half-eaten egg rolls, maybe room for a bin for the remnants of a Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't
Fried
expect
Chicken,
many people to be awake at this time. But this is when I can do it, and this is when I wanted to do it. So. Oh!
Totally missing the irony. "I'm not exactly married to this spaceship idea. Why don't we do it? Just promise not to bring your steel truncheon." "To Ganymede and Titan.
Yes, sir, I've been around. There ain't no place in the whole of space like this good old toddling town. Yeah, idea of heaven. Out of 10, you score 11. Good old toddling town."
Through the shuttle's tinny sound system, Perry Nkwumo, the African ballad singer, was crooning one of the many easy listening hits from his best-selling album, Nice and Nauseating.
Ganymede, Titan, yes, sir, I've been around. I only know the Lister version, but there ain't no place in the whole of space.
Like a bad-tasting spat into the night.
Whoa,
Through the shuttle's in-flight magazine,
Lunar
up,
City
up and away.
7.
He stared for a brief moment at the blisteringly unpromising contents page. Salt, an epicure's delight. Classic
I
the
forgot.
traditional way. Or just some of the more fascinating articles.
Oh, I remember that one. That was a good one, that one.
20-page magazine
Salt and
without
Epicure's
actually
Delight.
anything remotely readable. He tucked it back into the netting of the seat
That was like,
and decided to read the
that
plastic
wasn't even in the
card containing
series
crash
until
landing
like
instructions for the second time.
late. That was
The
like
shuttle buzzed
series
slowly
4,
through the groups of
at least,
gargantuan
maybe
space
even
freighters that
series
bobbed in orbit like a bunch of
That last Starbucks series? No, can't be.
All the
Can't
ships
be.
were constructed in orbit,
Probably at least
designed never to
4.
land, never to encounter wind resistance or gravity, and consequently were a variety of bizarre and outlandish shapes. For 5 full minutes, the shuttle ran alongside a supply ship called the Arthur C.
Or maybe it
Clarke.
was earlier, I'm
A
not sure.
2-mile length of dirty
Actually,
grey
sure it
steel,
wasn't.
orange
You didn't get the
lights
Starbug
dotting the
until-
huge bulbous cargo hold, out of which sprang a long,
I'm
thick
sure. Or
tubular
was that not
nose
even in the
section,
Starbucks? Oh, I don't know. I could be
twisted
wrong.
like the
It might be
stem
somewhere
on an
else.
oriental hooker.
I'm just talking out my
Eventually, the
arse.
shuttle reached the cusp of the star freighter's bulb and turned. Lister's window was filled with red, and red, and red. He couldn't see where it started, and he couldn't see where it finished, but it was big. No, it was big. A big, red, big, clenched fist of metal. As the shuttle accelerated towards the redness, details slowly emerged through the thick gloom of space. Gradually, Lister made out the thousands of tiny pinpricks of windows and a tooth-floss-thin line of light ringing the ship, the vessel's metro system. A huge, shadowy carbuncle jutted out a mile or so from the red monster's belly. The small moon, torn out of orbit and flung itself into the ship's solar plexus, and was now embedded into the hull like a giant stone leech. It hung there, like a bird that sits ignored on the back of a hippopotamus. As the shuttle swung out to align itself for docking, the red ship's nose cone loomed into view. 6 half-mile steel poles, bound by magnetic cables, as if the fist were clutching a huge shuttlecock.
Cock.
This was the scoop. The scoop sucked hydrogen from the currents of space and converted
Look at
it into
this
fuel,
shite.
theoretically making the ship capable of traveling forever.
He's supposed to do that.
Lister was aware of the hot whiskey breath of the burly Astro beside him, who was now leaning over him to share his window. "The dwarf," he said in a Danish
Oh, I
accent,
say.
ripping open another can of Glenfiddich. "The what?" Lister tried not to inhale. "Red dwarf." "How big is it?" "It could eat Copenhagen," said the Dane, "and have Helsinki for afters." Lister accepted a belt from the whiskey can, and they swapped names. "It's got to be 5 miles long." "Something like that," said Peterson. Lister squinted out of the window again. "And God, is it ugly?" "Ugly as my mother." Peterson smiled through the barbed, all-broken teeth. "First trip?" Lister nodded. Peterson belched, crumpled up the whiskey can, tossed it into the aisle.
Here she
and
is, the
fished in his
second
knapsack for
viewing
another.
of
Hey,
LEMUR.
Joe, offer you one,
The gorgeous
He said
cozy
apologetically.
Harpy.
but they only have 12 left. Been on Mammoth long?
6 months.
It's a bit of a dump, right?
It's a lot of a dump.
Wait till we get to Triton. Triton's okay.
Triton? Lister's brow furrowed. We're going to Earth.
Sure, we're going to Earth, but first we've got to go to Triton to get the ore to take to Earth.
Lister closed his eyes.
Huh.
Where's Triton?
Round Neptune.
Oh, said Lister. Neptune, right. He took a swig from Peterson's nearly empty whiskey can. Where's Neptune?
From here,
Peterson took out a calculator.
I'll tell you exactly.
He punched a lot of numbers into the machine.
It's 2,707,000,000 miles away.
Lister sighed like a burst tire. How long is that going to take?
Oh, say 18 months.
Said Peterson.
18 months, not counting customs, and Triton immigration control is a son of a bitch. It's worse than New York.
18 months?
Then 12 months mining,
12 months mining?
then 2 more years to get back to Earth.
4.5 years?
Hey, it's an old ship. It only does 200,000 miles an hour.
4.5 years? Lister repeated like a mantra. 4.5 years? He turned and looked out of the window as the shuttle ducked into the trench cut deep into Red Dwarf's back. On either side, buildings flitted past. Skyscrapers, tower blocks 100 stories high, monoliths of steel and glass. One minute, it was as if they were flying through Manhattan. Then without warning, the architecture changed, and it looked like Moscow. Then fluted pillars and elaborate neoclassic arches, and they could have been in New Athens. A tasteless mishmash of styles from the decades upon decades the vast mining ship took to build. For a tantalizing moment, between a huge mosque-shaped dome and a line of industrial chimneys, the tiny blue light that was Earth winked and flickered invitingly in the glow of the distant sun. Then just as suddenly was gone, as they swooped towards the yawning doors of the docking bay. 4.5 years, said Lister catatonically. Lister pushed through the crowded docking bay, fighting his way to the intake clearance zone, a now moronically drunk Peterson in tow. They'd been stopped at Red Dwarf Customs, and Peterson had been bag searched.
A crown.
His possessions had comprised
Oh,
of a
Harpy.
toothbrush, 1 pair of underpants, 3 socks, and 11 cans of whiskey. Informed that he couldn't bring the liquor aboard without paying duty, he had stood in the Green Channel and downed all 11 cans, one after the other, offering Lister a sip a can. Now Peterson was walking sideways, his head cocked at a curious angle, singing a lewd
Oh
Danish
God,
folk song,
come on,
punctuated
man.
with appropriate gestures and slobbering
What is
leers,
that?
as Lister dragged him by his lapel towards the moving
Getting
walkway.
ridiculous.
High above, dominating the ship's shuttle port, was a monitor screen the size of a football pitch, from which a disembodied head was lugubriously dispensing information. The head was a digitalized reproduction of a balding 40-year-old man, with a voice that had a slight East London twinge. The floor stopped moving, said Peterson, as they reached the end
There
of
we
the
go.
walkway. That's a very good thing. Lister scanned the various name cards Red Dwarf induction staff were holding above the heads of the jostling crowd. Hey, I'm Chomsky. Chomsky Pierre, right? Rogerson ticked his clipboard. Okay, stand there a second. We're still looking for a Burroughs, a Peterson, a Schmidt, and a Lister. I'm a Lister, said Lister. I'm going to be sick, said Peterson. And he was. Exorcist sick. A pause. A sigh. Peterson smacked his lips and wiped his face with the back of his sleeve. That's better. 2 scutters, claw-headed service droids which looked like miniature amputee giraffes on motorized bases, swept into view and cleaned up the mess. Peterson tried to tip them. We're still looking for a Burroughs and a Schmidt, Rogerson said, trying to disguise his disgust. What's that thing? Asked Lister, pointing up to the disembodied head on the monitor screen. Holly, the ship's computer. He's got an IQ of 6,000. You want to ask him a question? Like what? Like anything at all. Rogerson called up to the ceiling. Hey, Holly, this is Lister.
Why not?
The huge eyes rolled down in their direction. I know. Lister David. Date of birth, October 14th, 2155. Qualifications, GCSE, technical drawing. Failed. Rank, technician 3rd class. Ambitions, to visit strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no person has gone before. All right, Dave? A huge eyelid rolled over the digital eye and winked at Lister. Ask him something, Rogerson urged. Who holds the all-time record for 3-dimensional yardage in a single zero-G football season? Jim Bexley Speed, London Jets roof attack, season 74-75. 4,636 square yards in the regular season. And what colour tie was he wearing when he was interviewed by Mark Matheson after Mega Bowl 102? Aquamarine with a diagonal lemon stripe. Brutal! Lister grinned. Chomsky chipped in. Who was the Chinese emperor of the Ming Dynasty in 1620? Tai Chang, Holly replied immediately.
That sounds really like
Also known as Chu Chang Lo Kwang
Nomsky.
Tung, born 1582.
Not Nomsky. That's
They all began shouting up questions. Who was there? How
What's his
many?
name?
When did? And one by one, Holly got them right. Finally, Peterson asked a question. Where's the room going round and round? Because you're drunk, said Holly. That's right. Peterson clapped, delighted.
Peterson sounds more like the character from the book rather than the character from. I think he's intentionally doing like that.
Crisscrossed the length and breadth of the ship.
There is a good Peterson,
Spread
but it's not.
evenly
Doesn't sound
throughout
like
the
what's his
carriage
face,
were
Mark.
more monitors
Bloody-
displaying the
what's his
genius
face?
computer. Who was
The guy who
capable of
played
conducting several thousand
Father
conversations
Weasley in the Harry Potter
simultaneously,
films was
ranging from
Peterson
what was on the
in this
ship's movie
series.
channel that night to discussing the
So you
melding
can imagine
of
his
quantum
voice for
mechanics and
Peterson.
general relativity.
But this is more like the Peterson from
Some
the book.
30 minutes later, they boarded the express superlift, which whisked them up to floor 9172, where they were met by a ship rover, a three-wheel electric buggy bus, and driven down 2 miles of corridors towards sleeping quarter area P.
Oh.
Okay, said Rogerson, showing Lister into his sleeping quarters. Make yourself at home. I'll just go and fix up the other guys. Lister looked round the room, which was going to be his home for the next 4.5 years. Dull, gunmetal grey walls reflected his mood.
Drab. It would be
Neon
drab.
strips
Could be
around
called
the walls
drab.
simulated
That.
the time of day. Dirty yellow at the moment signalled the
drab.
middle of the afternoon.
But drab's more like the
Dirty
emotion that
orange
it would
signal
evoke.
early evening.
I think in
The
that case.
dirty blue would indicate night. 2 bunk cubicles were carved into recesses in the wall, one above the other, while to the right stood a simple pedestal wash basin and mirror, which when voice activated, swiveled on its base, revealing an antiquated chemical toilet, which bore the legend, "Now please irradiate your hands." Lister began to wish he was in his nice, cosy luggage locker back at Mimas Central. Behind him was a bank of fitted aluminium wardrobes, and 2 steps led down to what was laughingly signposted lounge area.
Well, I don't get it.
The lounge area was about 2 meters square, with a 3-seater reinforced steel settee and a tiny coffee table welded to the floor. Nice, thought Lister. Very homely. The other occupant of the room left very little evidence of his existence. Whatever he did possess was meticulously tidied away. On the wall of his bunk, the lower one, hung a homemade revision timetable in worryingly neat handwriting and an array of
Hello,
startlingly complex
Y2K
color
nerd
codes.
boy. How you doing?
Beside it were a number of
Nice to
certificates,
see ya.
neatly framed,
I'm just listening
and a
to some
series
Red
of cutout
Dwarf.
newspaper
Fancy listening to
headlines,
that.
all along the
I
lines
think
of
you might know
Arnie
of what
does it
I
best.
speak. Possibly
Arnie
Y2K
comes
nerd
out
boy.
on
You
top,
might know of Red Dwarf,
and
maybe.
Arnold, a
Potentially.
living legend. Lister scanned the
What about-
titles in the
it's where
bookcase
Lister
built
first
into a
meets
recess
Rimmer.
above the video screen. Astronavigation and invisible number theory made simple. Conceptual foundations of quantum mechanics made simple. Heisenberg's
It's like
uncertainty principle for beginners.
my bookshelf.
An introduction to the liar paradox and the non-mechanizability of mathematics, and how to
What
get more
used to be my
girls by
bookshelf? I don't even
hypnosis.
have one anymore.
He opened his bunkmate's wardrobe and peered in. 20 pairs of identical military blue underpants hung on coat hangers in protective cellophane sheaths, next to 7 pairs of pale blue pajamas with dry cleaning tags pinned to the collars. Lister was disturbed to see that the pockets of the pajamas were
Yes,
mounted
I'm
with
good.
insignia
Yes,
of
thank
rank.
you. Yes, I'm glad you are.
Tightly
It's a nice
polished
sunny day
boots
here.
stared unblinkingly in rows
So
on the floor.
I've been doing some real life gardening, and then it got like to lunchtime where it's like really, really hot. So I thought I'll do some fake twigging. I'm trying to make a fence. Trying to make a fence out of the things that I cut off the bushes last year that are all just twigs now. And so I've made a fence on one side of the garden. I just need to make the other side. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I thought this would be quite nice to do. It's a bit nicer than the twigging outside because you don't get the stuff in your hair. And I had to go and rescue some more twigs because it takes quite a lot to make the fence. And I had a fire last night and it was great. I burnt loads of garden crap and some of the twigs went in that. So I'm a bit low on twigs for this fence now. Let's go and find some. And I did. But it had been sort of sat there for a season and I kind of felt sorry for all the little creatures that were living in there a bit. So I only took the top layer and I left the bottom layer. I didn't want to take the house away. And I was going to keep shaking it until they get the idea and then go, and then eventually I'll have the twigs. Just give them a bit of a notice period, I thought, because it looked quite the jungle in there. And I didn't really want to be responsible for ruining that. It was alright fucking spider in there. My kid was like, it looks like a ladybird, but it's a spider, and it did. It was like some sort of mad globe spider, and when I saw that, I was like, can't be going and chucking that on the fence. Not things like that living in it. So that was that. So I'm going to put Red Dwarf back on.
A pair of monogrammed slippers stood beside them in shoe trees. Lister closed the wardrobe, struck a match on the no smoking sign, lit up, and sat down on the metal settee. Nice. Very, very nice. Rogerson came back in. Oh, David, meet your bunkmate. Lister looked up. Behind Rogerson stood a grey-suited technician, tall and rangy, flared nostrils, wide, slightly manic eyes, and a hyperactive, constantly jiggling right leg that always seemed to want to be somewhere else. Even without his false moustache, there was no mistaking the officer who'd hired his hopper.
Good morning, Ricardo. How are you doing?
So he's the guy who'll be
I thought I'd just do a little bit of fibre twigging this morning. Well, it's actually the afternoon now for me. Well, lunchtime, just after. It's too hot for the real life twigging, as I was just saying. So I'm not going to be on too long, but I just thought I'd do a little bit and try and get LEMUR's one done, at least. Because then I can get on to the game I want to play after this one. But it's always nice because I get to do a nice piece of artwork for it. But I very much enjoyed your stream this morning, Ricardo. It was great. It was very good. We had hot news, new information. We had a good laugh, and I felt like we forged forward because it was like the first time I've been on your panel since everything with us, and I just thought it was really cool. So thank you for having me. It was cool. I think we've like with everything in this place, all friendships end up being quite complicated and possibly messy sometimes. And I think that's just the case with us, and I kind of respect you for it. And I know there's people who are like, but I don't care because it's just about understanding and about accepting each other. And I hope you accept me too. So there we are. But I definitely enjoyed your stream anyway. Either way, whatever. You'll still have me there either way. Pestering you or otherwise. But it was fun. And I hope you and Doshin make it up. Otherwise he's not got much of a future, as he'll get sucked up by them guys, and that's it. That's the end of that. Or maybe not, he'll get sustained. There's a glory hole. Oh dear. Dearie me. Hey up, Ron! Nice to see ya. Ron, while you're here, could I ask you quickly? Oh, and hello, Opal Palace. Oh, very greetings to you. Ron, if we did a practice run for the tournament tonight, would you be about to do karaoke a bit tonight, or are you working? I was just wondering. I can do the timing to fit around you. But I thought we could have a little practice run for the karaoke tournament. I don't know if you've heard about the karaoke tournament. Possibly Lewis may come to it, possibly. I'm going to get distracted here by karaoke talk. I know I am. That's okay. It's worth it. It is so worth it. Everybody should sing their song. And I think this week would be a good week for it. Damn good week for it, in my opinion. Is there anything that I need to worry about? God. Go away, you silly thing. Oh, look, I've got some decent. That's more like it. What are you saying, Ron? What are you saying, Ron? Yay or nay? Well, I can always ask you on the Discord anyway, can't I? Let me know. Let me know if you want. Because you're the guest of honour. I'm not doing it without you. No way, Jose. We can wait. Or maybe we could have a little practice run anyway, but I feel it's not the same. Ain't the same. Whoops. Ruby. I sense movement in my side of my eye. So I can pause this. Oh, okay. Oh, man. Wow. This is huge. Wow. This is a huge thing. I hope. Can you show me the before and after pictures when you're done? So I bet it's quite epic, to be honest, what you've achieved. God, and I bet the weather's getting hotter and hotter as well. Wow, good on you. Well, we might have a little practice run then, possibly tonight. Just a little one, a short one, more of an awareness raiser than anything else, and see if we can get that third judge. Y2K Nerd Boy, do you want to be the third judge on the karaoke when we do it? It's on a Saturday night. Well, it won't be tonight though, it'll be like in a week. You're impartial, aren't you? You're quite new and you haven't got a dog in any fight or anything, so you'd be quite a good judge. I thought, yes, cool, excellent. Right, well, what I'll do is I'll sub to you and then I'll just link you in with any information and updates and stuff. Let me go to your channel. Here we are. That's it. So we've got our 3 judges. Yes, thank you. Thank you. It'll be great. So we'll have you and Judge Judy, and I think she did confirm today that she'd do it. And then we've got Potion as well. So that's the 3 judges like X Factor, I thought. And you can either come on voice or you can stay in, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. I'm not going to make you do it. If you want to, you can. When we do it. So it might not be for a bit. Oh, I'm glad we've got the 3 judges. That's cool. And then we just need some contestants. Let's have a go. We just need some contestants then. I think we've got a few. I think Ricardo's up for coming and joining in. Oh, what the heck? Oh, down here, look. Oh, yeah, I should know this because I've just played this level and I'm all acting all surprised, like I don't know about it. There we go. I'll put Red Dwarf on again.
Bring you the ropes. Lister, this is first technician Arnold Rimmer, said Lister. We've already met. No, we haven't, said Rimmer, smiling too much. You're a technician, said Lister, surprised. I thought you said you were an officer. Shut up, said Rimmer, pumping his hand and smiling even harder.
Hey up, Vic! Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Lister sat in the lecture theatre, with the other 11 members of Z Shift in his
We've
brand
got our
new
third
technician's uniform, which made it itch in 19
judge
different
bit
places.
for the
While his left arm
karaoke.
and his right buttock competed for the title
Y2K
of
Nerd Boy's
most
going to do it.
painful appendage,
So
following
we're
his
set
12
for that.
inoculation jabs.
I'm hoping that you're going to join in. I'm sure
The
you
rest of
will.
the previous morning and the whole of the afternoon had been a
But it's not
long
going to be tonight, but we might have a little
process
practice
of
run tonight if you
humiliations.
fancy it.
Hours standing around in backless surgical gowns. Why backless? When did a surgeon ever
Because
need
I
to
need
get to your
to
bottom
work
in a
out
hurry?
how to do it, because I've never
Giving
set one of those
various
things up
bodily
before.
fluid samples.
I'm sure it's
Peterson had
easy
in fact
enough.
delivered rather more bodily fluid samples than was absolutely necessary, and
Oh
nobody was
gosh.
pleased. IQ tests, genetic fingerprinting, hand-to-eye coordination work, centrifugal weightlessness simulation. Then finally, they'd all been marched like a serpent of school children down to the computer decks, where they each had their personalities
for being
recorded for
ignorant.
storage in the hologram library. Lister had sat in the suite,
It's gone crazy
a
all
metal
of a
skull
sudden.
cap bolted to his head, while his every memory and personality trait had been logged into a depressingly small computer slug. His entire life, his whole personality copied and duplicated on a piece of computer hardware the size of a suppository. Peterson's recording had crashed 3 times with an error message which read, "Non-human life form." And in the end, they had to drip feed him coffee and subject him to several very cold showers before his brain was functioning sufficiently well to be recorded. If, in the highly unlikely circumstance of Peterson's achieving the status of indispensable personnel and then dying, he would be revived as a hologram with the mater and pater of all hangovers. The lecture theatre hatchway breezed open, and Rimmer clicked up to the podium in boots so brightly polished you could see infinity in them. The previous evening in the sleeping quarters, no mention had been made of the incident in the brothel. In fact, Rimmer had played the part of a man who'd never met Lister before very credibly indeed. He was, he had declared, not exactly in love with the idea of bunking out with a subordinate, but it was something that they both had to put
Joining
up
what?
with.
Oh, the karaoke.
There's
The
just
karaoke
one
on Saturday.
he maintained.
Tonight. We'll do a little bit of, yes, sweet. So we're going to do a bit of a practice run tonight, just a bit of fun, and then it'll be the tournament. Hello, Vol. She's on the screen. She's on the screen. You can't see her at the moment. She's hiding behind my resume here. My resume. Volt. That rascal Volt. Oh, did you, eh? Did you? Oh, all right. I'll have a look at that. All right, cool. Yeah, sweet. That rascal Volt. Yes, well, I'll come and say hello if you're about. Although, my kid will be coming back soon from his day out. What is it? I've got about an hour, but I'll be able to put on the chat. But when it comes to the karaoke, it might be next week or the couple of weeks, but it's going to be a tournament. We've got all the judges. We need to get some contestants. You're going to be a contestant. I am. There was a couple of people who said they'd do it. I can't remember who it was. I think Ron might, if he's not working, if the time's when he's finished work. Jealous. Are you jealous, Bolt? Aww. Like, sit back, enjoy. Are you coming? Yes. What do you mean listen to us? So you're coming, Ricardo. You're joining in, aren't you? No, I thought you were coming and participating and doing us a song. I thought. Have you? Oh, wow, cool. Well, that'd be good. I just want to awareness raise it for people joining up for it. So, Ricardo, I'll put you down as a contestant. So, we've got Vic, Ricardo, and whoever it was I spoke to yesterday. My brain's gone. I have had a beer, and I've been in the sun all morning, and I've smoked, and I had a little bit of shortbread, which has got some butter in it, which is just hitting now, and I think it's definitely a great effect. Very mild, but very nice. Karaoke PS2 game. I have got a karaoke microphone. but I don't use it ever. June or July? No, I was thinking, what are we on? So tonight we'll do, so this very evening. So what time is it now? 2 o'clock for me. So in like, say, what's good for you guys? Like midnight for me or a bit later? About 2ish for me is like 7 for you or something. Something like that. About 2ish is good for me because I get to have a sleep then. And then get up and, or even later, 3-ish for me. Which is in 12 hours time. So whatever time it is for you now in 12 hours, would that be good? I texted her, I messaged her this morning. She's busy, obviously. I didn't see if she replied, to be fair. She comes for the narcissism streams. She's got a busy life. She does lots of things. Lots and lots. She can't just be doing this all the time. She's not like me, having to sit in with a kid or anything. I don't know. Are you trying to sell me some internet? What's it got to do with you? Trying to dox me by a white internet provider or something? She's very busy. There she is anyway. I've got her on for you there, Bolt. Bloody hell, you're as bad as Doshin. Just shows you, doesn't it? It all comes out. It all comes out. I never had you down as one of them, Bolt. Did not. Well, never mind. LEMUR won't mind. She's got time for everyone. She's a really, really friendly and understanding person. So she'll put up with your shit for a bit. But then she won't, you see. She won't put up with shit, though, forever. So don't be thinking that you're going to play us. Volt. No, I didn't. I said I'm playing Fiber Twig. It's called Fiber Twig. I never mentioned anything about fiber. Broadband. What are you talking about? Strange the way your brain goes, Bob. Honestly, I don't even get where you. What are you even trying? What are you angling at? I can't even try and work it out. I'm like, okay, so it's talking about my broadband, my fiber broadband. Very strange. Well, you're not going to get no sale off me. I'm quite happy with the deal I have. Oops. Quite happy. Thank you very much. You can go through the house with your Avon. Like Francoise. You try and sell me an Amico next. This is a good way of dealing with the Harpy. What are you talking about? Let's see what he's moaning about now. What are you ragging about? Is this £100 a month? Shall I tell you what wasn't expensive this month? My Realm money went out, so it was £60 to do the PlayStation, and I don't even go on it. So actually, it's not that bad, because if you did it by the week or something, it'd be like so much more. But yeah, I was just like, where's this money gone? What's this? You know? And it was like, it was my bloody PlayStation. I don't even go on the fucking thing. Ever. I play Fiber Twig. I suppose my kid goes on it a lot, so there is that. So yes, it's been expensive. It's been expensive, Volp. It's been a dear do. That. It's been a dear do. But it's worth it. It's worth it for the realm. Keep it alive, even though it's just a load of old tombstones now when you look at it. Everyone's moved on. Because I've just not been on it and I've done anything on it. But me and Vic are going to go and breathe new life into that realm. And my friend has been on there building a castle at some point not so long ago. So it's not, and we could probably tease them back if I asked them nicely. Possibly. If I said I was going to go and raid his castle otherwise, he probably would come. Apparently he's got a lot of stuff. Oh. See, I kind of got him onto the realm and then gave him a bit and said, oh, you can live near me. So I know he's in my area, but he's in like out of my vista. And then I kind of left him to it, and he told me loads of stories, but that's when I disappeared off it about a year ago. And so I've never actually seen, my friend just had this whole like career on the realm well after I even was on it. And his whole adventures and everything. I had nothing to do with it. Didn't even get to play with him really. I think I had a couple of goes. He managed to get a ravager into my fucking pumpkin patch, into my nice, I've got like this little area which is just, it's pastoral, beautiful, lovely area, and it's all different palettes. So that's like an orangey sepia type palette, and it's just really nice. It just goes into the savanna biome as well, so it just gives you that completely different vibe as you run through. And then, anyway, there's just like one guy in there that I raised from a baby, and I've rescued him, and I've looked after him. Oh, fuck. And then at the end of it all, Lemur only looks in her 20s. Well, I don't, Volp. I don't look in my 20s, I have to say. She does, doesn't she? She only looks young in this. She only looks young. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's have another go at her, shall we? She's definitely besting me. She's not quite a rival to Kuya, but no one else has really matched me since Kuya. But this one has. Oh, too many brass buttons, see? She's got the same fucking problem, that's what it is. These brass button merchants. I bet you got all excited, didn't you, Volp? Thinking that we were going to be here. Yes. It's like, apparently, people were asking Sierra what he was doing on my channel. Because I put him in my thing. So we'll see who the next one is. Wait till I do my rogues gallery, which I might do when I get bored. I don't think I'm going to get bored now because I've got a few bits and pieces to do now. I've got some stuff to be getting on with, so I ain't got time to do my rogues gallery straight away. But that's going to be once I've vanquished my foes. The ones that didn't get an art will get an art. Because I enjoy doing the arts for them. I enjoy doing, and I can just do it in like 10 minutes. It's right good on the phone. I enjoyed doing this one that I did for LEMUR. And you get loads of other cool stuff as well that's inspiration in other ways. Very cool. Gives ideas. Oh, look. The power of Christ protects you from the fiber twig. Such an old ninny, mate. Look about 40. Oh, thank you, because I'm actually 44. So that's all right. Thank you very much. And that picture that you've seen of me, well, actually, you've seen the avatar one. But the other picture, the one that Dean had, that's like I was so dehydrated, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning after like a couple of heavy days smoking hefty bifters at my mother's house over Easter. Outside in the garden, obviously, before you start. Yeah, like I hadn't been particularly drinking tea and stuff, you know what I mean, rather than water, and not really doing my same routine. So, you know, I didn't look too good. Not like my normal glowing, bouncing down the road with my yoga mat self, like I am normally, Bolt, you know. I'm like that woman off the Tampax advert normally, you know, we're riding up and down with my rollerblades. Forgotten about the red dwarf. Oh well, I'll do it in a minute. I'm going to be ignorant again, aren't I, though? So, oh, hang on, this is a good... Oh, look what I've done! Well as I live and breathe. There we are. You guys have a good day. Oh, okay. Oh, it's okay. You're all right, Ricardo. It's fine. Just ignore him. Who is it? Are you talking about Volp? That's just Volp. It's no Volt. That's just Volp. Oh, Donny Dolphin. I don't know who that is, to be fair. I don't know who that is, mate. Well, I hope you come back for the karaoke later, Ricardo. So I see you see me crazy yesterday, Mulpie. Yeah, I know what you mean. But this isn't him. Oh, I don't know if that is him. Donny Dolphin probably is him. I'll just ignore him. Honestly, I've learned to ignore it. You know what I mean? You've addressed it the best you can. We just got to keep on going at him in the best way we can. Don't let him chase you away. But obviously, you do what you feel is best. But he kept saying angling to get on the karaoke tonight. But I'd rather you come on the karaoke than him if it has to be a choice. But if not, we could have a karaoke battle between you two. A rap battle between Ricardo and Doshin. Fucking amazing. What say you to that? Oh, he's talking about Volp, okay. Yeah, it's just Volp, he's no alt. Well, he is an alt, isn't he? We know Volp's an alt. People say, Volp, that you are DVD fever. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? What say ye to 6 men down? D Volp, D fever. What's he saying? Oh, the Opal panelists, excellent, yes. Oh yeah, I've already accused you of this before. That is exactly what you said as well. Yeah, you're right. I know you're not. I know you're not, because I've already asked you. It was ages ago. And then someone said it to me the video, and I was like, oh yeah, DVD fever. I've not thought of that. But no, we've already had this conversation before. I remember. Months ago. Months. Not a year ago or longer. Yes, I've forgotten about that. Fat boring mofo, I remember you saying pretty much exactly the same shit. And I was like, yep. I agree with that. But it's shit though, isn't it? He's like the only one that's is that the real Carl? It's better bloody not be. Better bloody not be. Masquerading as the fake Carl. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. Why can't I go to your channel? I can't go to your channel. Yes, the beats for the rap battle. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Ricardo, if you're still there, what do you think? It would be quite funny, wouldn't it? A rap battle between you, or just a singing battle between you and Doshin. It just like drag him out of this loop that he's doing, which is no good for anybody, is it? And it's not helping you with what you wanted to achieve with him. So at least that would like snap it out of it and move it to a different room. You know what I mean? Oh shit! What have I done wrong? Oh. Dolphin-tacular. I'm glad you're dolphin-tacular. Be a nice day to be a dolphin today. Oops. Oh, I'll keep doing it. Come on, the chi. Come on. Properly hoarding these. Nice. Oh shit. Oh. Oops. Hey, get to the chopper. Hello. Nice to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. How are you doing? Keith Stiddlewood or something. Yes. Well, if anyone's got any info, if anyone's been down and seen anything, Darius says, please put it in the chat because I'll be doing the crunch tomorrow and trying to get my stuff together. I'm considering doing my weather show, which I discussed in a previous stream, which I might do if I can be asked. Quite funny. But we need a weatherman for that. Volp. Are you Optimus Prime Rib, Volp? Opaque One, are you Optimus Prime Rib? Oh, Volp, I've got some information on you. Oh, you cheeky monkey. And now I've got reason to believe, Mr. Volp, that you are Bob Newbin. What do you say to that? What do you say to that? Bob Newbin. My foe. One of my nemesis is Bob Newbin. Yeah, pretty much gets the chopper. But don't you think it's cool what happened? Don't you think that was cool? I feel like I showed a positive example of how to deal with that. Like, because Ricardo was never going to give up on me at that time. It had gone on for ages. It really had gone on for a really long time. And there was nothing I seemed to be able to do about it, apart from cry on the internet. And so what I did then is I just readdressed the power balance. And I don't know how it happened, but something just happened, and I just decided to just stop. I was still respectful, but I just stopped being oppressed, like repressing myself and stopping it. Stopped going in because I never wanted to feed anyone, because it just wasn't worth it. But in the end, I realised I had to, and then I used a focused approach. And what happened was, Ricardo listened, and then stopped talking about me, and now we're all right. And we'll see how long it lasts, but things have moved on, so that it won't ever happen the same way ever again. And I'm quite chuffed with the outcome of that, to be honest. I have to say, because I actually like Ricardo, and I think he's funny, and it was a loss. It was a loss, in my opinion, to the stuff in everything in general. So I think it was a bit of a win for everybody. Plus, it just shows those guys, those idiots over there, that anybody is better than them, and we can just all get together, even though people who are arguing with each other and having a go and all the rest of it. We can all come together and move forward, because anything is better than being associated with those guys in any way. It is a good laugh. I don't know if they're just doing a bit or not. I think he does seem genuinely pissed off with him, but you never know, do you, with them two? Them two have fallen out, apparently. I tried to find out why it was. I think it's just the level of alt accounts, I think, has just finally got on Ricardo's tits. Big time. It's just too much. With the alt accounts, and then they're talking to each other alt accounts. I mean, I went on his stream this morning before I went and said hello, and it was just Doshin, and there was at least 3 or 4 on there, and he was just talking to himself, and he'd been doing it for ages. And I think Ricardo's just a bit tired of that, maybe. Well, that's the story that he's putting out. We don't know what the real story is, do we? But yeah, I suppose it just gets tiring after a bit when that's all you've got. It's just him and I suppose it does, though. If you think about it, it's all that energy that you're building up with any sort of conversation just gets diverted into this it's funny at first sort of thing, but then it's if it's just him doing it, it's fair enough if there's other people involved and it's a bit of audience participation or something, and that's part of why you do that, isn't it? If it's just you guys, it's just just having to keep up that pretense for no reason. It just seems pointless and weird. So I can imagine where Ricardo's coming from on that, if that's what it is. Alright, here we are. Oh, go. You're not Optimus Prime ribs, are you sure? Not Bob Newbin. Well, you connected up with him somehow. Yes, it does. It really does. It does repeat itself, Donny Dolphin, massively. I've definitely had this. Oh, all the time. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but even if it does happen, I've changed the landscape now, and Ricardo's gone with it. So, it means that even if it does repeat itself, instead of me being on my own trying to explain to people that he's doing this thing on me again, I can just be hey, look everyone, that thing that we all know he does, he's doing it again, and just laugh about it with him and be hey, look, even if it's a knee-jerk reaction and he just does it, it's just your mates in your real life or whatever, oh, you're doing that thing, you're being a bell end again. It's fine, isn't it? It's fine. It's really not the end of the world. If someone's willing to go forward with stuff, then I'm all for it, And even if they've done it to me before in this environment, I wouldn't go back into it willy-nilly and completely unprotected, but I would put my things in place and then I'll be secure going forward. So if I feel safe and I feel secure in myself, then I'm happy to take a risk with certain friends who are a little bit like a firework, who might do that sort of shit. Like you would in real life. I don't know what you guys are like, but I've got some very interesting friends who a lot of my mates or the other mates would be like, can't be asked to spend time with. But I get way more enjoyment out of some of those guys because they're just funny and shit, and you know, we're like fucking chaos and shit all the time. It's funny. Don't do it so much now because I've got a kid, but there's still like, you know, I've still got interesting eclectic mixes of people rather than just the same old people who like go to the same school as your kid or work in the same place as you or something. It's like, all right, well, that's lucky if you find a good one, but like, just because they work in the same place as you don't mean you're gonna have the same fucking shit in common. Jesus. Just it's convenient for kids, like, I'm sorry, but I just don't do it like that. It's like, no. I mean, if it works out like that, that's great, but it's gonna be a real bloody day. Oh no, I've got those of these. Was I not supposed to do that? No, I wasn't supposed to do that, was I? How are you, Albert's sources then? Fault. Because I saw a screenshot from a comment that you left today with Albert, where Albert cited you and Bob Newbin as his sources for whatever bullshit it was he was talking about. And you said Bob and Bob Newbin are good guys, which leads me to think that Bob Newbin is either you or D. Reed. Prove me wrong. How's my Sherlocking on that one? Have I got it down? So you don't realise, do you? You don't realise I've got many spies with many eyes. I don't watch any of that shit, but some other people, some other sad bastards do. I don't. No offence to you guys. Oh, this again, no. Just realise when this happens how far back I am. Oh my god. At least it's calibrated with the right pipes. Did much better than this last time, didn't I? So. This very day, I'll check it in a minute what you said, if you said anything. But it was this very day, this hot off the presses, this was. Oh, yes. Many spies have many eyes. And I was like, how interesting is that? How very interesting, I said. Oh, no! Go away, go, 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 go! Just go! Jesus. I just want one of those T-junctions. Oh yeah, what am I doing? Just in case. You never know, do you? You never know. See? I'd have gone up the wrong way. I got myself stuck, wouldn't I? Got myself totally bleeding stuck if I hadn't thought on then. You gotta think on. Think on about shit like this. One step ahead. Let me see what people say now. A minute. Okay. Yeah, I agree with get to the chopper there. Good, bad, funny moments, just like anyone else, just like a normal person. Johnny Dolphin just wants to give him some good loving. Albert is researching Cyrus. Why? What's Cyrus done to Albert? I don't even know what I asked you to prove in the end. I've forgotten. I've got so sucked into Fiber Twig. Oh yes, yes, with that comment. So I know that you connected to him, one way or another. I think you are him. I think you are Bob Newbin. By that comment where you say the burden of proof is on you, not me. I think you are. I think you're so secure in the knowledge that there's no proof that you're Bob Newbin. I think you are Bob Newbin. I've been cringing off James Campbell for years. Yeah, I wasn't cringing. Yeah. Vault same. I wasn't as open as you, but I was encouraging of him definitely. Back in the day, he was a bit of variation. Like in those days, we didn't get much, did we? We didn't have much. There wasn't much because of you and Albert and fucking Darius and your fucking conformity and your white man's North Korea and your chinless homies and all that. Do you remember that? Fucking hell. Someone was asking me about chinless homies the other day, and I was just like, I can't believe it. Can you believe what they did there? Like, I know it's your buddy, innit, Albert, and that, but they did fucking play a right thing there. Me and you and fucking Darius at the time were sound about it, do you remember? And they went and made that whole thing, and it's still a legend, a bit of a legend. And it was a complete fabrication because we were all completely fine about it. Come back as the Mackist of Mac Daddies. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yes, he is. He is an endless legend. He is. I like to use him in my videos. He's a great icon. He's definitely iconic, James. And he put the work in, definitely. See, I know it. You are Bob Newbin, you cheeky monkey, honestly. I was never a fan of Bob Newbin's work, I have to say. Well, as you well know. And you were the one who gave him my Doc's pick as well. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I did say I wasn't that bothered because someone was going to do it. I'm not like Darius. If you dox yourself, and that's it, innit? But Bob Newbin, man, he was a right twat. What a shitty character. I don't like that one, Bob. I don't like him. I can't believe it. That character's been going for like... Well, how long's it been going for? Like a year and a half? Bob Newbin. I reckon I've got this one. I reckon I'm going to do it. Here we go. It's great because it's so prescribed, like, it'll just do it for you. Classic Twig music. There was we were, oh man, don't you remember? Don't you remember, Vol? Right, so fucking hell. Oh man. The back in the day when Albert really wanted to get me on something but he couldn't, and he wanted to attack me for something, and he found out that I'd left that Chinless Homies thing on the fake Volk account, and I said, oh, it's my Chinless Homies because Tommy was always saying to my Chinese homies, do you remember? And it was that Chinless thing had just come out, and it was just at the start of all that AI stuff. It just changed everything, and I went over and I said that, and it was a joke, right? And at the time, I was still going over to Darius's. Everyone was still fine. They were just starting their shit. They'd just started. They'd done the same thing to Evil. They'd looked for something and tried to use it against him, and they did it. And they did the same shit. They were trying to do the same shit to me, but it was so shit. They'd done such a shit job of it. And they tried it with you as well, like one of the only people who I actually got on with in the place at the time. Like beyond just like chit-chatting, like we actually had more of a chit-chat than anyone else. So they went in on that. And Albert, you know what Albert's like, frothing at the mouth for bullshit, right? And so I went straight over, and it was just you and Darius and maybe like two other people that Darius had just started streaming. I went over, and I said to you guys, I was like, just to make you aware, they're starting some shit about this Chinless Homies. It was all a joke and whatever. And both of you guys were like, whatever, we're not bothered. And we just carried on with our day, right? It took a couple of days, maybe 3 days, and they'd started a whole war about Chinless Homies. And to this day, he still uses that as an excuse that it was a start, even though he's against Darius. So his whole problem was that he was gatekeeping the Truxton army, and it was something about me. So he's literally lost it. It just proves, like, his whole hatred towards me, calling me a cunt, and everything was all based around the fact that I supposedly said something about Chinless Homies, which was against his stupid army, which he is not part of anymore, got kicked out of for being a twat. And also it was against you and Darius, who I was fine with both of you guys at the time. But that's when Darius turned on me. After that, that's when I realised how fucking much of a soggy bottom, fucking soggy cotton wool boy he was, because we'd already had that discussion. You see, it was even worse because of it. So yeah, that's what that is, and that's what I'm saying. We were cool on something, and then Albert just decided to make it. He just literally made it about that. And that's the thing, it was just blatantly obvious to anyone who could see. but just not many people gave a shit. No one gave a shit then. And they were chucking us all under the bus, including eating paste, the great virtue signaller, the great woman defender, eating paste, the great gaslighter and propagandist. But there'll be more of that at another date. Doing it all to suck this other guy's cock as well, mate. Wait till you hear this story. Wait till you hear it. Massive simp, mate. Massive. Literally part of this huge simp community. And they just simp over this one girl or just a couple of birds. I imagine they're e-beggars. I haven't done much research into it yet. E-begging birds, and they just fight with each other over these women who they're paid to talk to. And Paste is one of them, it turns out. And he's been getting his knickers in a twist about all this shit, about some weird little drama to do with his simp community. This e-begging simp community that he's part of. And he started white knighting and getting all weird earlier and started trying to gaslight me in our Discord. And started dismissing me and being all shirty and shitty with me about being because you're the only chick here and all this shit. Instead of actually addressing any of my points at all. Just totally dismissed me. So he just proved his point, it just proved who he is. Massive fucking fake simp who has just been sat there waiting in the wings to cause shit and use us, and he's obviously thought of us as some kind of fucking pets that he could just come in and drop a little juicy dangler off and we'd just go off and do his fucking bidding like you're like over at the PSG would, you know what I mean? You'd say to one of them guys and they're all like falling over each other, aren't they? Oh yes Albert, yes Miss Patterson, thank you, yes I'll do that for you. Put me on that detail and I'll sort that out. Who is it? I've never heard of them, but I'll make their life a living hell. I'll make all these lies up about them. And they just do it for the sake of it. Pace did it for this other guy. Same shit. And expected, judged by his own fucking standards, and expected us all to fall in line and do that shit because he has such low standards and low expectations of us around here. Well, I'm sorry, mate, but you got fucking proven wrong, didn't you? There is integrity here. It might just be round us lot and round the Herbies and round the snakes as well. The snakes have got integrity. That's why you don't like them. People with fucking integrity, you can't stand it. Well, the fucking integrity's here and you're all going to get fucking wasted. Because it's my sport. And these people, from the looks of them, look very, very easy to defeat. Because as soon as I started talking to Pace about any sort of proof or backup, considering we all come from the critical thinking anti-e-begging place, he ran away. He gave me a load of shit and a load of insults and then insinuated a load of shit and then ran away. So I have absolutely no fear that we're going to have some good sport out of these pathetic, plastic, fantastic simps. So we're going to have some good fun with that. But I don't know all the information, so watch this space on that one. It all amounts to not a hill of beans, but the thing that I find interesting is in comparison to our own situation and different people having their different positions and where they were in it. And, you know, like I say, we've all just literally just fended off the potentiality of being utilised and turned into flying monkeys. Now, I find that an interesting concept. Because obviously we've been at the back end of being attacked by flying monkeys for over a year. So it's interesting to me to be able to compare the two when we've actually been thought of as sort of potential flying monkeys. And obviously the result that came of that, which comes from people with backbone, people with integrity and people with a bit of vision. Also people with empathy and people who've actually been through the bullying that Pace was trying to achieve. And it was so cheap, honestly, Volv. It was the cheapest attempt I've ever seen. Like such a poor pitch. He didn't even try and pretend. He was just trying to use us. And like he never goes in that Discord, and then all of a sudden he's all over it, right? Then after never going to Evils or anything, he's over at Evils that night. Then Fox Garden, trying to curry fit, trying to like get his little fucking oar in and everything. It's just so obvious. It's like you've got to put a bit more fucking effort in than that, man. If you're gonna try and play shit like that. You know what I'm on about, don't you, Bolt? It's like, at least have the respect of making an effort with it. You know what I mean? I mean, my ideal situation would be honesty, but obviously I don't expect that here. And also, you don't need to just be like lemonade all the time. But at the same time, if you're not going to be honest and you're going to try and make a play, at least try and fit it into the respect of the situation. Don't patronise me with it. Make it a decent thing so I can't just turn around and just be like, you're doing that woman fucking thing again, and just be so fucking obvious with it. Then we're good, you know what I mean? It'll last longer. But these people, they just have such a low ambition, low vision. I don't know what it is, because Pace is creative, you know, but just really focused, really bitter. But you'll find someone quite focused here, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I will not stand for bullying, as you know. And if it proves my point with those other guys, without feeding those other guys, then I'll be using it. So you should not have come into that Discord and tried to fucking make assumptions about people that we were going to start on your bullying campaign after what we've been through. Because what that proves to me is that you had no fucking idea what we've been through and haven't made any attempts to understand what that shit is. And considering that fucking Paste was in and out of their fucking panels all the time when they were attacking Evil and me and everybody, he was in and out of there. And you should have seen some of the hypocrisy of the shit what he was saying in that Discord when he was trying to badmouth someone. Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable shit. And he never came up with any proof. The only proof he ever got for us was some fucking print screens of some comments that he made. The ones that, you know, you think, oh, that was a funny comment, I'll take that one, I'll show that to someone that made that comment on that thing. It was just one of them. And that was his big fucking evidence. After his propaganda and shit. He'd been doing it for days as well. And it was like I say, you can see the fucking strategies when he's there over at Evils, then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? It's like, as I say, I'll reiterate myself, but the main problem for me was the disrespect of assuming a very low level of us, thinking very low of us there, that we're just going to follow on suit and do that shit without even thinking about it. Bullshit, mate. Bullshit. There we go. I finished my rant on that one. For now. So, yeah, so I was looking for something new to do. So obviously me and Ricardo were all right for now. We've got the karaoke, which is nice. And I'm still against internet bullying, and I'm still got those guys on my radar. It's just I'm not feeding them. So this will do nicely for me. Because it doesn't let them off the hook. Not at all. In fact, it just makes my case stronger against them. It's just going to be extra ammunition that once I'm ready to attack you guys, I'll be ready and I'll have lots of ammunition behind me. So I'll just keep building and building with things like this. And one day, that'll be it. Because everything ties into place with a load of shit that they do as well. All that same shit. Same sort of smear campaigns, the same flying monkeys, the same lies, the same small time, weak ass bullshit, playing whatever they can get and just ramming it into the ground, the same just shouting over people so they can't actually tell you what the truth is, like that shit. He was doing it in the Discord yesterday. So it just shows you in Bell End, man. Bell End! Total Bell End. Oh. Is this the second time I've seen her or the third? I have no idea. I've restarted it so many times now. Oh, I have to because we had the power of price, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's annoying that it does that, isn't it? Oh, oh dear. Oh, we're at the top. Do you think? Come on, just one long one. Oh. Good game, Lima. Good game. In your face, Lima. In your face. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get involved in that. It looks like you're doing all right in that chat. Looks like you're doing all right. What time are we on? Oh, I've got to go. I've got to go, chaps. I will be home in about half an hour. So I've already told you once, Bolt. She's not talking because her mouth doesn't move because she's just an inanimate picture. She's not a moving picture. As much as that beautiful thumbnail of mine would lead you to think otherwise. So there we go. There's Lima. I have completed her. I've conquered her, which you guys would love to do, but it will never ever happen in a million years. So let's go level up. Okay. Look who this is. Would you look at who this is? I wonder if this might be the last one. Well, Tony, we shall have our duel. Our final duel next time. I know, look at it. It is him. It's purely him. Vic. Well, this guy lives on a little lily pad and he'll be sat here waiting for next time on Fibre Twig. I get to do a little art for Tony. That'll be good. So, yes, thank you for coming and joining me on Fibre Twig. It was fun. We did a bit of the Red Dwarf. Where did I get up to? We did about 20 minutes of Red Dwarf. One day we'll get to the end of that. 2772, 15 years. I will be putting out various community posts. We'll be doing a karaoke tonight, guys. We'll see if people would like to let me know if they've got any restrictions on time. Huey, I know you have. And Vic, I know you have. So if you want to let me know if you've got any, what we could work around. But yes, it'll be what's it? practice run tonight. Practice run tonight for the karaoke. Yes, well, let's have a rap battle tonight. Air your grievances on the musical stage, you musical elves. All right then. Lots of love to all of you. Bye.